ball time, baby dolls. Moo! We are gonna crank it. Prices are pumping and pumping. It's math time, baby. Now, I've got some important critical news here for you just to show you how bullish we are. Donald Pump is very long crypto. You get it? This is Donald Pump. Maybe you've heard of him. He is the president of the US of A. Not the US of B, US of A. Donald Pump, friends, his net worth is worth a couple of billion, right? 44% of his entire personal net worth is in crypto, accumulated during his political career. 44%, okay? So this is 2.4 billion since 2022. And basically, friends, crypto is almost half of his entire investment exposure. So he's got many things. He's got his NFTs, World Liberty Finance, Bitcoin mining, ETF release, and more. Remember, he's even doing a stable coin, right? USD1, that's part of World Liberty Finance. There can only be one better Bitcoin and also one brother, right? You remember that. So it's all coming together, isn't it? It's in his very interest, you can tell, friends. It's financially incentivizing for him, if you will, want to use those terminologies, for crypto to go not just to the moon, go out of the stratosphere, do a freaking roller coaster loop, head to Uranus, then head into her Uranus, right? Not just your Uranus, hers as well. Keep going through the Milky Way, go through a couple of black holes into another universe. That's how far he's got to send it, okay? And we might even get exotic top signals at the end. He might actually just start dumping a lot of the stash. Remember, he's dumped 25% of his World Liberty Finance stash so far. Okay, he's sold off 25%. So he's still got 75%. So we'll see how the tranches work out later on. Crypto to 10 trillion. Send Bitcoin to 200K and Ethereum to 13,000 American dollars. That'll be great. That'll be an ETH-BTC ratio of 0.065. I think everybody will be happy when you go. Shout out to ShimShoney. He is the people's champion. Please spare him a minute for the Robs. This is awesome. Here we have.
Everyone knows that. Everyone can see that. It didn't take long. It took me months, but it didn't.
There can only be one. There you go, sirs. Now, we've actually got more cracker news here for you, friends. So I've just got this screenshot from earlier in the day. pDAI is approaching this 1 cent level. I mean, like any minute now, it could just be 1 cent. Hope it is. I've just captured this screenshot of the day when pDAI was up 33%. Hopefully, it keeps cranking more. It is now at this point, friends, pDAI, remember, we've got more PulseChain core coins. I'll show you the updates. pDAI is now only a 50% move up, so 0.5x, and then it will reach 1 cent. At 1 cent, we are going to have the global Nipple Peggening event. Okay? And that will celebrate a whopping big return since the pDAI gravestone emoji day, which was here. Okay? So if we rise, I mean, we don't need much, right? Just a 50% move gives it to 1 cent. See how we conquered these levels? Look at this. This is 1,000x to $1, by the way. If you buy down here, you get 1,000x on your money if it goes to $1. Here is Caddy's level 1 FUD, 0.3 cents. The next one was Richard Hart's FUD area, 0.4 cents. And then level 3 was Maria's FUD, 0.5 cents. And then we achieved Maria's item unlock. Smells good to me. This was Maria's glitter pants were dropped, giving us extra agility. So hopefully we pump faster in the bull market. Remember, Richard Hart's top hat, he gave us evasion. Okay, so it's very, very useful. So, SEC, you get to dodge them. FUD, get to dodge that. Interpol, dodge that too. Very fitting. Now, if we got to 1 cent, hopefully when we get to 1 cent, I hope we're 1 cent, we just blink and we get there. That will mark, since everybody laughed at me, laughed at you, laughed at all of us, it will officially mark 37x return on your money. Not 37%, not 3.7x. It'll be 37 times return on your money. 37 times on your money for believing in something. Ha! You see that? 37 times your money for believing in something, and that's just the beginning because it just hits 1 cent, and it was at 3 cents at the high at the end of 2024, and it's still 100x to $1 when you get to 1 cent. Oh my gosh, how is this possible? Well, the thing is, it's a first cycle unicorn. You know, none of them work out. Not all of them work out. It's very, very risky, but if something does work out, no one's ever seen anything like it. It's yours for the taking. Oh, I can smell it right now. Feel free to dump anywhere along the way, by the way, because I don't know what happens from here, friends. I mean, the coin went to 0 twice already. It could go to 0 for a third time, okay? But yeah, we are going to start, and it will begin a new marketing campaign. No. You don't get, none of you get to walk away from this one, okay? You don't get to come out and give me phone calls from my family members who've been reading the comments, wondering why there are people literally saying that they're going to come find where I live and stab my chest with a knife multiple times while I sleep in the middle of the night. Okay, you don't get to say that, you little soy boy. You don't get to say that down here and have me stay quiet when I prove to you that you were wrong. You don't get to stay and live in that world without being reminded how much of a soy boy you are. Come at me, by the way. Come at me. Run at me! Run at me! When we're done, they're going to have to introduce laws. No one's allowed to operate a spoon without a license. The amount of damage we are doing to the backs of the bears. Ha! See this? See that? Sharpest elbows you'll ever see. So yes, friends, when pDAI hits 1 cent, every KOL will be pressured. You're going to put your Twitter avatar as my peg nipples. And I've got that picture right here. You see that? Hits you right there. You know exactly what it means. Okay? Why am I doing this? To teach you a lesson. To teach you to stop trading and believing something. Stop trading. Start believing in something. Do you see? You see that? The choirs of angels will sing, friends, as we celebrate our victories together. Okay? You and I swimming in a sea of lost souls, and we're going to be the ones that make it because we dared to fade the crowd and tell the crowd, I don't care that the founder of a chain doesn't like this coin. Blockchain is speech. It is kind of funny though. Someone out there, few people, really wanted to actually kill me because I dared to exercise my human right to use a decentralized blockchain called PulseChain and execute my trade on a decentralized exchange called PulseX to buy a decentralized ping pong coin called pDAI. Ain't that something? Believe in something. I'm trying to teach you to believe in something and stop being a little soy boy bitch who needs to click in and out every 15 seconds. They are not the richest people in crypto. They have the cleanest feet because they get worshipped and toe jams sucked from all the other non-believer scum. Shout out to Soylana. You get it? Are you starting to get it now? Bet more. It's time to go all in, baby doll. So we got to have some fun as well. You know what I mean? Like we got to balance it out with some comedic relief here. And by the way, you know, not that the universe works in mysterious ways or anything, but literally today, PumpFun deposits 86,000 soy into Kraken and then starts dumping instead of buying back. And some people are saying, oh no, they bought back. Oh my gosh. Bro, how many times have I got to go through this? Okay. They've already dumped $750 million. Okay. The buybacks they're doing back are nowhere near what they took out. Okay. It's going to be used as exit liquidity. And guess what? Everybody already showed us what happens when the market's not ready to go or it's exhausted in the name of PulseChain. Remember when Richard Hart was using the Ethereum treasury to rotate some money in? What did everybody do? Exit liquidity. Okay, it didn't go anywhere. And actually go back and I can show you the quick chart here just so you can see further proof. Okay, this is exactly what happened, right? Richard Hart started rotating the sacrifice treasury in a bit here. It all got used as exit liquidity, okay? So that's what happens, right? When you're swimming against the current, which is literally 98% of the time in crypto, which most people will just all swimming against the current most of the time, everything's exit liquidity. There's no point injecting money in. You got to do it perfectly timed, friends. I see a lot of people out there who still don't get it. Soylana trenches are seeking answers from the LA Vape Cabal, prostitute cabal, and other insiders' rings. They should stop trading and start believing in something. Okay, man, keep telling me your chain is a future. Bro, you won the game, Soylana. You won the game, Habibs. You ran up for a year and a half. A year and a half. You can't possibly win any harder in crypto than going up for literally a year and a half. Now, PulseChain core coins as a whole starting to crawl up. 4%, 3%, 2%. We have EHEX hyper reacting as well, 4 5%. pWBTC as well, show stealer, 29%. Richard Hart actually goes, you know what? Forget the P token FUD. I'm going to go right in. Actually shills the pWBTC chart. And he's actually called for the whole PulseChain community and everyone out there who has pWBTC, go and ask all the exchanges out there to please list pWBTC. All their customers have free money waiting for them. Let them come in and dump. It's actually such a genius idea what he's done, man. It's so genius. He's basically saying, open the market for them because I know they're all cheat scum and they're going to sell. Let it sell. And they will sell. Okay. And then when they've all sold, I and Strong Hands buy it all up. And then what happens is, right, we end up pumping the crap out of it and they all sell their other stuff to come buy back in later and we've got them. Okay. By the way, what I've described for you is exactly the beginning of Hex, the better Bitcoin. Okay. Everybody got this airdrop part of it. It went down. People literally dumped their free Hex friends for $9. I'm not joking. There were many, many people. They dumped their free Hex for $9. At the top of the bull market, it was worth 5,500. Hex went up to 55 cents. You got 10,000 Hex for every 1 Bitcoin free claim. Yeah. Many people, friends, they dumped for $9. How pathetic are you to dump for 9 months? You literally believe in nothing, piece of trash, subhuman filth. $9. Okay? $9 you never even thought you knew you had. And if you just held on, it was worth $5,000 at the top. They learned the lesson then, and they're going to learn the lesson now again. But it's going to be a new cohort of people. PulseChain's here to win. Also, I think it's very apparent, friends, now, we need new characters for this cycle. This cycle just so much dog shit stuff. Look at LA, look at Jack. This Jack guy goes, LA Vape Cabal thread guy thinks Ansem and Cobie's Twitter accounts could sell for $100 million each. Cobie says, let's find out. My account is now for sale, 99 million. LA Vape Cabal thread guy, hey, follow me back so I can DM you. Cobie, no. Just, you know, man, it's just... friends, I get it, okay? Trust me, I'm the most self-aware human squirrel with a bull hat that you'll ever meet, okay? I'm very, very, very self-aware. I know how I look like from every other perspective. I know how I smell like. Trust me, I'm very self-aware, okay? I'm also aware of us, the wisdom of the crowd. We don't respect people if the things they're holding isn't mooning with a green candle. We don't respect them, dude. And if something's going down, we think, ugh, yuck, sick, disease. I know how we think like that. All it takes, green candle, red candle, green candle, red candle. That's all it takes, friends. A big, fat, juicy, there can only be one solution. Green candle. What's a green candle? More people buying in. Why do more people buying in? Because they think they can make money. Why do they think they can make money? Because they see a lot of people making noise and other things are making money. Okay, do you see the positive on-flow dominoes effect here? Okay, when you have 170 content creators, when you have 70 streamers, when you have a PulseChain, PulseX, and a Hex conference multiple times per year, we make a lot of noise. And once meth starts pumping, can you feel it in the air? Eventually, there's an ignition candle. Eventually. By the way, you've already seen this before, Habibi. You've already seen this before. You want me to show you? You heard of this coin? You heard of this coin? The XRP standard? Look at this ignition candle. You ready? You ready? Pop. Look at that. Look at this ignition candle. Look at this. I'm going to go for you slowly. Okay? They skipped the whole bull market 20 times. Look at this. We're going to go slow, slow. Look at this. Bang! You see that? Did you see that, friends? Let me just show you. Let's go through this bar replay. I want to have an appreciation for what this ignition candle looks like. Are you ready? You ready for it, friends? It's doing nothing forever. Literally at 50 cents forever. This ignition, big ignition candle is going to come up. Whoa, 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 whoa. You see that? You see this? Whoa! You're watching it, you see? It's a big ignition candle. Okay, everyone thinks it's dead. It ain't dead. All right, we're going back for round 2. You get it? That's the first kicker. Yeah, that's what happens, friends. Whoa, 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 whoa. It's like it's ready. It's like ready to blow. Everyone's like, XRP standard, XRP standard. Let them go. Good. You deserve it, XRP army. You deserve all of it. PulseChain glory will come to abundance mindset. Now, friends, talking about, you know, pumpy G'ing and everything out here.
Listen to the fat bass.
There is a final boss you and I must defeat. So one day you're going to remember grinding out all those hours of level 2 balls that we were defeating out in the little cute forest. We could get that one quest item. Then we gained an upgraded spoon with +5 strength. Right now we're still grinding away. Grinding. What is the grinding, friends? Well, you just got to let the business cycle do its work, you know? Global money units are circulating. People are eventually going to feel optimistic because, you know, whatever it is, AI, whatever the narrative is, okay? Who cares? Something's underpinning the economy. It is AI. It's big, but, you know, it's going to be something. Eventually, something's going to go off like popcorn, okay? Someone makes money doing something really stupid. Yeah, it ain't Soylana, PumpFun, trash. We've already had a year and a half of that. Something goes up that makes money. People's minds blown, and they go, oh my gosh, you're telling me crypto altcoins actually go up? And we go, yes. And they come in, they throw 20 grand in. It does a 6x. They made 120 grand. And then everyone thinks they can make money. And we have started the positive flywheel. That's what we're all waiting for. Positive flywheel, friends, though, they start with a big ignition. Tom Lee coming out believing in Ethereum, friends. Tom Lee has shocked the world. You got to remember, friends, Ethereum is having its own ignition candle right now. Even though, but it's so big, you don't see it as an ignition candle because you see it as a spear. Yeah, but Tom Lee, friends, remember, Ethereum is like a little degenerate volatile altcoin for everyone out here in stock market land, right? When you're looking at meth, the power of meth and what it can do for you and all those dopamine units it provides, remember, Ethereum can literally just blow the roof off, you know? So everyone in stock market world is looking at this ignition candle that's happening in meth, right? He said Ethereum could be 15,000 by the end of this year. Long-term target is 360,000 for ETH. Bitcoin maxis are in cope mode, despite them pretending like Michael Saylor isn't simultaneously calling for a 100x on Bitcoin to reach $13 million. Yes, it's 100% true, okay? None of this fabricated at all. Yes, so Michael Saylor comes with a straight face and goes, Bitcoin's going to $13 million. That's 100x higher. And all the Bitcoin maxis, they know exactly who they are. They go, yes, I believe you, Michael. Yes, Lord Michael, yes. Cybernetic Hornets, I believe in that. And then someone dares say, oh, I think Ethereum's going to do a 5x from here. And their brains explode. They're like, no, you can't. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Why can't it do 5x from here? Why can't it go to $15,000? Why can't it? It's because, man, they don't understand what's going on. You know what I mean? It's the business cycle, Habibi. Okay? How many times? We went through this literally every single day for a year and a half, bro. You're going to go through it again. The business cycle has been down. All of your conclusions about altcoins have been made in this environment. It makes no freaking sense, bro. What you're effectively doing is, it's like you're literally judging someone. Let's say, friends, someone's a painter. They're an amazing painter, but they're painting and there's a literal cloud on top of them. They're painting in the park. They paint, and the rain is raining all over their ink. Okay? Imagine you go and judge the skill of a painter by these you know, water droplets and then the paint that's basically just gone all mush. Imagine that. Well, that's what you're doing. When you're judging altcoins, you are judging, it's a very, very, very rainy, cloudy season here. And it's one hell of a season. Nuclear holocaust season, especially compared to the past, okay? All I'm telling you is, I would be very careful about thinking that it's going to keep raining forever. And I think we need some inspiration, friends. So, the normies are coming. The normies are coming, friends. There is a girl here laying down. Everyone else parties on the weekend while I invest on the stock market. We are not the same. So, shout out to this girl, wherever you are. Newsflash, the stock market doesn't open on weekends. I'm telling you, friends, this type of stuff, it is going to hit us very hard. We have astronauts here who are ready. Ethereum is lifting off. Everything's ready to go. Remember, we know this, right? It's not going to last forever, but also don't mid-curve it, right? Because remember, friends, this saying is very true. The longer the base, the higher the pump into space. Okay? It's a stock market saying. Now, why does that happen? Why is it that you get a very long base and you seem to have a higher pump into space? Well, the answer is because there are people who are selling all the time. So if you have a very, very long, rounded bottom like that, there are all these harpooned whales, okay? These harpooned whales, they have to sell their money for peanuts down here, okay? And the longer that you can stay down, you basically keep harpooning these whales, right? And then when you're ready to go, friends, what ends up happening is you've distributed all their coins, all their stocks, all their shares, all their assets. You distribute them into stronger hands, and then you'll find there's literally nothing left to go, okay? However, if you don't harpoon these guys here, let's say there's a world where you don't have a very, very long rounded base. Let's say you do like a nice, let's say you go up here. What happens is you see all these whales, look at this, they don't dump down here. They get to dump up there. And what ends up happening is those whales who, let's say you're in a crypto token, okay? Each whale, let's say they want to sell $1 million worth. Okay, if your coin is up here, let's say Hex, for example, let's say Hex was 10 cents. You know these guys selling for $1 million here? They actually get 10 million up here. Now, what that means is there are 10 times as many retailers who have to absorb those higher prices. Do you get it? That's why it's becoming very, very dangerous if you don't actually, it becomes dangerous for a market if you don't allow it to rinse everybody out. You have to let it clear down. But that's what ends up happening in the long term, right? In the long term, when you have a very long base, all the harpooned whales, they have to get rid of all their supply for a basic pennies, you know? That's how the game works, friends. It's a game of survival. The longer you can stay there and not touch anything, the better you'll be, okay? Because the people who need this thing to pump tomorrow so they can turn their 1 million into 10 million, they're the ones who end up capitulating. But you and I are here to mog all the non-believers.